I've been in the hills, fucking superstars, feeling like a pop star. Drinking any bad bitches, jumping in the pool, and I ain't got on no bra. Hit her front or back, pulling on the tracks, and now she screaming out no more.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jen, back with another video. What's up? I feel like I haven't posted in like forever. It was just this past weekend that I was gone to Seattle. You guys might have saw my Snapchat story, and if you don't have me on Snapchat, then girl, what the fuck is you doing? You feel me? My Snapchat will be up here, jen.ngu. But I was in Seattle this past weekend just on a little vacation with my boyfriend, watching him compete and everything at CWL Seattle. Fun times, video games, Call of Duty. I am back with a storytime video, and today's storytime video is going to be about the time that I got suspended from elementary school because I am just so problematic, and it has started ever since from a young age. Love that. But before we get into the video, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every single week. I don't have a specific date because when am I ever consistent or ever on time with anything? Never. Thank you guys so much if you are already a loyal viewer. If not, welcome aboard. Let's get into the story time. So I was about 10 years old at this time, in 5th grade, back in my hometown, obviously. What year would that be? I was born in 1998, so that's like 2008. In 2008, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but there was a hit show on Nickelodeon called iCarly. Does anybody know what kind of path the story is about to take? So there was a hit show called iCarly. You may remember it or you may not have remembered it depending on when you were born. So iCarly was like a huge thing. I have always been into like making videos and computer shit from like a really young age. I would always be filming and messing around and making videos and making websites and stuff. I had my fucking Tumblr and shit popping in middle school, you know, but from a very young age. My class in 5th grade, it was very, very small. It was about 10, 12 kids, so as you can imagine, the little friend groups were very like close. I had about 2 really good friends in elementary school. So it was me, Candy, and Rayanne. We were like the 3 musketeers, you feel me? Me and Candy were much closer than me and Rayanne because like I don't know, we just like 5th grade came around and we just like clicked like that, you know. We were those bitches, you feel me? The class was planning on going on a group trip. So this group trip was basically like the trip of the year or whatever for the 5th graders, and the whole trip was basically you stay there for like a weekend or whatever without your parents and like with the teachers and everything, and they had like these little dorm rooms for us essentially that we could just like sleep in there overnight, and they had like a whole dining hall and everything. But basically it was just a whole trip to be closer with nature because I grew up in New Hampshire, and that's really all that's around there is like white people and nature. I don't know. Just a whole trip so we could learn about like dissecting animals. We would be looking at like footprints in the snow and like observing leaves, and eating grass, I don't know, like being really one with nature, you feel me? A week prior before the trip, me and Candy got really inspired by iCarly, and they're like, yo, how cool would it be to like have our own little like website, kind of like iCarly. Jen, you know how to like do that, all that computer shit. And then I thought my friends were hilarious. You know how like you think you and your friends are absolutely hilarious, but to everyone else in like the outside world, you guys are just like the most mediocre, like unfunny people in the world. That's how I saw my friend. We wanted to put on our own version of iCarly or whatever. What did we call it? We called it something after our initials. I think we called it like, my name started with a J, obviously, for Jenny, and then one of my other friends, their real name starts with an R, and then another one was like A, so R-A-J. We called it like Rage or like Raj. I don't fucking know. I don't know why I even remember that. But anyway, so Raj or Rage, whatever you want to call it, was like our version of iCarly. If you guys haven't seen the show iCarly, iCarly is basically a little TV show that was based off of a girl in middle school who had her own little like web show going on. So she had her own website and everything, and then one of her friends would be the photographer, filmer guy, and he would film the 2 other girls who would be like the main entertainers, and they would put up funny videos on their website or like funny little segments or like have like a live broadcasting show going on like every week, and it would just be like funny shit that they would post on their website for fun. That was basically the whole gist of what we wanted to do with like Raj. I fucking hate myself. Like, why was I like this as a kid? I don't know. As with iCarly, what was really common on that show was that they would have different talents coming on their web show to make it more interesting. What we did was we literally posted a clipboard with like a piece of paper with like a list of like people in my class for them to like sign up, like, hey, if you want to come over to my house after school, if you got a cool talent or whatever, we'll record you and we'll post you on our website. Yeah, we had a lot of suitors, as you can imagine, because my little 5th grade class was like just so gifted and talented, like, bless their souls. Like, do you see how stupid this is? Like, ugh. But to me, this was my life. This was my life. A whole little clipboard of like talents and everything. So our idea was that, oh, actually, instead of getting people to come over to our house afterwards, why don't we just like film everything that we need for our web show during this class trip that we'd be taking the weekend after, because our whole class would be together, we'd have a bunch of free time, we could just mess around, it'll be great, you know. Me, Candy, and Rayanne, we're all rooming together in the same room and everything, because obviously, like I said, 3 musketeers, and we're all just hanging out. I brought my little digital camera that literally costed like $30 from Walmart, and then so this other girl from the next room over, we were like nice to her and stuff like that. We'll call her Bella. No one in our class really liked her because, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, for a 10-year-old, she was fucking mean. Like, she was really mean and just like, I don't know, one of those girls who would always like brag for no reason and be really mean to everybody, like literally everybody, and like would be in competition with everybody. Like, we're 10, like, simmer it down. Obviously today, no hard feelings against her, but we were all just very petty in grade school. But she came into our room because she didn't really have anyone else to hang out with, because like I said, since it was such a small class and we're all just hanging out, talking, whatever, and then she's just like acting wild, like being extra, like coming at us or whatever. So I pull out my camera to film and everything because I was like, oh my god, this will be a great tidbit for our little web show that we got going on. And we're just recording. Ella was fucking shy and be mean, and so we were just like clapping back, you know? It wasn't anything like harsh or anything, don't get me wrong. The trip ends and then we get back home, and so I have all this footage and all these wonderful pictures to post onto our site. I know you're probably thinking like, oh my god, the story's so far-fetched, like how the fuck at 10 years old had to like create your own website or whatever. Let me tell you, sis, Weebly.com is your best friend. This wasn't even sponsored or anything, but like Weebly is like the easiest fucking site maker that you can do. Like, even a fucking 10-year-old could do it. And so under my video page, I posted that same exact video of us all hanging out in that room or whatever, and we're like kind of like clapping back on this girl, right? She came at us first. And the following day, I came back to class, and then I was on one of the class's computers, and I pulled up the site, and then everyone in our class was like around the computer screen, including the teacher, and was like so impressed that I put together a website, and like even the teacher was like hella impressed. Oh my gosh, like wow, like you guys are like so cool, like, you know? And I was just like, bitch, I know. Even Bella saw the page or whatever and thought it was hilarious. It wasn't like any like bad blood, you know what I mean? Me, Candy, and Rayanne in love with our site. Everything's going good. So I thought. So I thought. So I go home that night and I'm like going through all my other footage and I'm editing it. Family computer was in the living room, so like obviously my parents could see what I was on or what I was doing, and my dad walks by me and he's like, oh, what are you doing there? And I was like, oh, just like editing some footage that I got from this past weekend. He was like, oh, are that your classmates or whatever? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, well just be careful where you post that stuff. I don't want you getting in any kind of trouble or anything like that. And I was like, yeah, no, it's fine. Girl in the video saw that she was being posted on our website, and it wasn't like legit website. Like, it had like a weird URL, and like you would have to exactly know the URL in order to find it. Like, if you were to type it in, you weren't gonna find it or search engine or anything. Like, if you were to type it in Google, you would not find it, like 100%. You need to have the exact URL and type it in specifically. You would have to know. I was like, yeah, don't even worry about it. Like, no one's gonna see it, blah, blah, blah. I go back to school the next day. I get called in during recess by the principal. Can we see where this story is about to take a turn? So I go into the principal's office and I see Candy, but I don't see Rayanne there. And I was like, huh, weird. What's up? And the principal is there talking to us, and she's like, pulls up like screenshots of the site. She puts it out on the table and she was like, so do you want to explain this to me? And I was like, yeah. So I like tell her everything, like, oh, we have our own little like web show kind of based off like iCarly, a little website where, you know, students in our class, they want to just go and check out like our funny pictures or our funny videos or our favorite songs. She's just like, and but I could tell this bitch was about to fucking clap back on my ass and like lay down the law. After I finished speaking, she was just like, oh, well, like, want to tell me about this specific video in particular. So she pulls up the Bella video, right? And nothing in the video that was being said was like bad. I think the worst thing that was being said in the video is that Candy said the word crap in the video. The principal's like, oh, well, like this video, I'll have you know, one of you guys said the word crap, and I'll have you know that's like almost like a swear.
You guys, like, I can't even fucking make this up. Like, she dead ass looked me straight in my eyes and was being so fucking serious and said with the most attitude, I'll have you know that that word crap is like basically like almost a swear. Bitch!
And I was just like, move on. So like, why am I in here for? Like, is that it? Because this is elementary school, keep in mind. Like, every little thing I feel like was just like blown out of proportion. She continues to say, oh, well, does everybody who's like posted on this site know that they're like being posted out? By everyone, it was literally just the one video. The rest were just like pictures of like me and Candy and Rayanne. That was like the only content that you could say that we had on the website. So I was like, I mean, yeah, like I showed everybody in class yesterday. Like I would assume, yeah. Continues to go on and says, oh, well, do their parents know? And I was like, I mean, I don't know. Does it look like I contact the parents like individually and like call them up and be like, hey, like, have you seen our website? Like, it's pretty bumping, am I right? And so I was like, honest, I was like, no, I mean, I don't know. I didn't check in with them. And goes on to say that, one, it's like illegal as fuck evidently to be posting out videos or pictures of minors, children essentially, or without their parents' permission. And then, so I completely understood that and I was just like, oh fuck, like yeah, I just didn't cross my mind, you know, because if the bitches and ICARLY could do it, why the fuck can't I? Like, what? This is like news to me, breaking news, bitch. And then she tried to go on to say that it could also be considered cyberbullying. Cyberbullying. Imagine that. This was like the first time I've ever gotten in any kind of like trouble at all, because I was a very good little child growing up. I was kind of problematic like as a teenager, but like as like a kid, I was like an angel. Being in trouble with the principal was like the end of the world for me, right? So I immediately started bawling, and she was like, you could get into some serious trouble with their parents, and now the whole school has to get involved with this. And so I was like looking around and I saw Candy here, but I was like, where's Rayanne? She's a part, just as much as part of this as like we are, because it's like our site together collectively. And she was like, oh, like, that's really funny that you say that. Like, are you sure she was a part of it? And I was like, yes, sis, like we literally all together made this. What do you mean? And then she was like, oh, because it's funny because like Rayanne alerted me, the principal, about everything. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So it was me and Candy who took the heat. We were the ones who got in trouble, and then we had letters sent home and our parents were notified and everything that we would have to be suspended out of school for the rest of that day. I would have to go home immediately and take down the website, and if I don't, then I'll be suspended for even longer. So lit, good stuff, good stuff. At this point I was literally just bawling, and I left school and I got fucking screamed at when I got home. Like, and literally the only response that I had to them yelling was just like me crying like in between my tears, just like, I just wanted to be like ICARLY, like I just wanted to be like ICARLY. Like, why was I like this? I don't know. It's fine, you know, sis was just way ahead of her time. It's cool. I deleted the whole website, went back to school the next day and told the principal that I took it down. I followed by all her rules or whatever that I had to do so I could still continue going to school. So everything was good and peachy keen because fuck. And the irony in all of this is at the end of 5th grade, because obviously 5th grade you transition into middle school in 6th grade, so we had this whole graduation party at the end of the ceremony where my principal says one thing about each of the students in my class and predicts what they're gonna do in the future. So to my other classmates, she was like, oh, Tommy's gonna be like a firefighter. Or I believe that like Daniel's gonna grow up to be in the NFL because he is so athletic at recess. And so she gets to me. And this bitch, she literally goes, oh, and Jenny, honestly, I could see her being like a CEO of Google or being the next like Steve Jobs.
Cause yes, Kathy, being a quote-unquote cyberbully at the tender age of 10 years old is the paved path to being a multi-billionaire and the CEO of a very, very successful company. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I guess at that point, like, everyone must have heard of like the whole web show scandal that these punk ass girls in like 5th grade were up to. A whole like room of parents just like erupted in laughter, and me just over here red as fuck, just like, good one guys, like you really got me, good one Kathy, like fuck. That's the story of the time that I got suspended in elementary school because I wanted to be like fucking Miranda Cosgrove and have my own web show like iCarly, and I got suspended for it because evidently I'm just like the biggest cyberbully ever. And yeah, so that's my story time for you guys. I hope you guys got a good laugh out of it. I don't know why I was like this. Maybe this explains everything now. It all really comes full circle. So if you guys enjoyed this story time, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every single week, and if you guys want to see more story times, be sure to put that in the comments below and let me know, or let me know what else you want to see. I think that's all that I have for you guys this week, and yeah, I love you guys so much, and catch you later.